I'm Brandy. On TikTok, I'm known as Bayou Brandy, and if you're watching this video, you likely want to know how to make money on TikTok. In part 1 of this series, we talked about how to get you to 10,000 followers, because 10,000 followers is the minimum amount of followers you have to be invited to apply for the Creativity Beta program. So go back, watch part 1. You've done the work. You've spent the hours interacting with people, following people, unfollowing people who don't follow you back, making new friends, being authentic, all of those good things. Now, you got to 10,000. What do you have to do next? Now you have to have 100,000 views in the last 30 days to be able to apply. So we're going to talk today about how to get views on TikTok. In my opinion, when you're trying to get to 10,000 followers, your content is not as important if you're mingling and aligning with people who are also trying to grow their TikTok. They're following you because you're following them and you guys are mutually helping each other out. It's not as important what you're posting. Once you hit 10,000, then we got to talk about your content. Now, once you're approved for the beta program, you will not get paid for videos unless those videos are a minimum of 1 minute in length. I always make mine 61 seconds at a minimum, just to make sure TikTok can't pull any funny business and say it's because it's not over a minute. You also have to have followers watch a minimum of 5 seconds of your video to be a qualifying view. You cannot use any trending sounds. You have to have original content. So what does that mean? It means you have to talk. The same way I'm talking to you right now, you have to talk. Now, time out. Let's talk about who the beta program doesn't work for. If you're a creator who has gone viral, or you have a big audience because you make 5 to 10 second hilarious videos with voiceover sounds or trending dances or funny skits, beta program is not going to be for you. If you sit and talk to your friends on TikTok, because I call them my friends typically, not followers. If you sit and talk to your friends on TikTok, then this is going to be for you. So you can use a sound in your video, but you do run the risk of them telling you it doesn't qualify, because at some point in the video you have to talk. So I have seen creators who talk for the first 5 seconds and then they add a sound, and that works. But let's not forget that TikTok is run by artificial intelligence. So if a computer generated AI hears a sound and thinks that's not original, they can disqualify that video. And it is what it is. We got to play by their rules, because essentially they're our employer, right? So for me to play it safe, I do not use any sounds. I do not use a green screen behind me that shows only a screen recording of, sometimes I cover true crime, so I'm not going to put only a screen recording of like Nancy Grace talking about true crime behind me, because I don't want to run the risk of that not being qualified. So 1 minute, 61 seconds at least, in my opinion. Original content, meaning we are talking, we're using our own voice, and it cannot be a sponsored or a paid ad. So if you are getting paid, or you have a contract with a company to post content, then TikTok is not going to let you double dip on that. So when you hit 10,000, yes, you technically can, at that point, start making money off of every one of your qualifying videos. But most people don't have 100,000 views in 30 days immediately when they hit 10,000 followers. So what I think that you should do is, after you hit 10,000, start trying to get your videos to have as many views as possible. And by doing that, make them shorter. Know that in the very beginning, you're going to sacrifice pay to get the views, because can't get paid if you're not in the beta program, right? So 5, 10, 15 second videos that are going to get you the most number of views possible. Why do shorter videos get you the most number of views possible? This is just my experience and what I have learned through reading Reddit pages, watching YouTube videos, and reading other comment sections on other TikTok creators' videos about how they have been able to grow. TikTok is the worst at putting out transparent information that tells you exactly how their algorithm works, so we just have to guess. Unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation floating around out there, so take what I say with a grain of salt, do your own research, and see if you think it aligns, but this has been my experience. I have overwhelmingly read online that more than 50% of the views on a video have to watch more than 50% of the video in order for that video to continue its trajectory, climb, on the algorithm in TikTok. So what do all those words mean? If you have a 20-second video, more than half the people who watch that video have to watch it for 11 seconds or more, or else it's gonna die in the water. So what you'll notice on TikTok is sometimes you'll have a video that climbs and climbs and climbs and climbs, and then it just, no more. It's not gonna climb anymore. For example, I posted a video about this viral Luke Combs, what I called Tumblergate 2023, where a single mom was selling bootleg, non-copyrighted, selling items that were copyrighted that she did not own the rights to. She was selling items and got sued by Luke Combs. It's a whole thing. I'm not going to explain it. Anyways, that topic was hot for one day on TikTok, and then one day I got 1.1 million views. That was like a week ago, and in that last week, it's only now at 1.2 million. So what does that mean? It means that the hot topicness fell off, and the views stopped climbing because people were over it. If you have a 30-second video and it has 1,000 views on it, if 501 of those people have not watched more than half of that video, TikTok's gonna stop pushing it and you're just gonna sit at 1,000 views, most likely. You might get a couple here or there. TikTok might randomly pick it up in 2 weeks and push it out, but for the most part, what you get while you're seeing a steady incline is all you're gonna get. And when it starts to plateau, that's it. So focus on shorter videos, focus on really engaging videos, and add a question into your video. In my experience, if you ask a question, there is a subset of viewers who are gonna take the time to stop and answer that question that you asked in the comment section, whereas otherwise they would just watch and scroll. Now, all you really need is their view, right? You want them to watch the video for as long as possible, but comments do help your interactions. So if you have more people that are commenting, it's going to help you grow in the algorithm. Also, the time that people take to type out their response to your question is added time that they're watching the video, right? So if I have a 30-second video and I ask you, what is your favorite gumbo spot in Louisiana? And as you're typing, it takes you 12 seconds to type out, nobody beats my gumbo, so I only eat my gumbo at home. You have those extra 12 seconds of views now. You know what I'm saying? So ask questions, gives you interaction, gives you more watch time. Take out any pauses or lulls in the beginning of your video. If I turn my camera on and I subconsciously want to wait a half a second to make sure it's recording and then I start talking, I'm going to lose most of my viewers in the first 1 second of that video. That's been my experience. You can, when your account gets to a certain point, you're going to have an option in the bottom right corner of your screen that says view analytics or view more data, and it'll actually show you the exact second in your video where people swipe on. And if I do not go into my videos and edit out that first natural pause, I promise you I'm losing people in the first 1 second. So you're gonna keep your videos short, you're gonna ask questions in your videos, and you're gonna edit out the lull or the millennial pause or whatever people wanna call it in the beginning of your video. Then you are going to close out the TikTok app after you post a video. Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? I saw a video recently where someone said, post a video and then close the app completely and walk away. And when you come back in an hour or two and you open that app up, it's going to have more views than any other video on your page. And for me, that has proven to be a true statement. I always thought as soon as I posted the video, I immediately wanted to go into my comment section and start interacting with people and acknowledge them and responding to them. And I noticed that it's hurting my views. The Luke Combs video that went to 1.1 million in one day, I closed my app, I walked away. I did it on another video. I watched a 2020 episode or something, I can't remember what it was, and I posted a video about it, closed my app, went to dinner with my husband, came back, I owned $2,000 off that one video. So, was it just luck of the draw? Maybe. Was it because I was killing my own views by interacting with my own comments prior to that? Maybe. So do your own experiment. Come back and tell me what you think. But those are my tips and tricks. So the second part of getting to monetizing on TikTok is get to 100,000 views after you have 10,000 followers. Get to those 100,000 views in 30 days by posting short videos, take out your pause, eventually circle back, comment to people, respond to them. Hopefully they've answered your question. Put the question either on the screen in text, or you can put it in the caption. In my experience, people don't pay attention to the caption as much. Put it on the screen. Type it out. What is your favorite place to get gumbo at? If you want to run a little social experiment, post 2 videos that are very similar. Post a question in the caption and post a question on the text on the screen and another one, and tell me which one gets more responses. I guarantee you it's going to be the one on the screen. Because as a society, we're lazy and we like what's right in front of us. We don't pay attention to all the details. These videos are all over the place. Maybe I should type out a script and stick to it, but I just be talking about shit as it comes to my head. You know what I'm saying? Now, the next part we're going to talk about, part 3, is going to be, you've got your 10,000 followers, you've got your 100,000 views, you've been accepted into the beta program. What to do to make the most money, honey?